Hi everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm going to make the spaghetti sauce recipe for you so you can see how to make that. I'm going to try to do it inspired by a tasty video, so you're going to see it from the top down. Hopefully this works. We'll see how it goes. So for today, I made sure to check my mise en place, make sure I have all of my ingredients. If you don't, you can always substitute some things or, keep things out of your recipe if you need to, so that you can give this a shot and make some spaghetti sauce. So I need hamburger, onion, pepper, garlic, oregano, basil, crushed tomatoes, butter, and sugar. And I'm going to do a little bit of substituting for this recipe. You can use it as it is, or you can try to substitute with what you have at your house, whatever happens to work for you. Okay. Today I'm going to use garlic powder because I don't have any fresh garlic at my house. So I'm going to use this container of granulated garlic as opposed to fresh garlic, either in the clove or already minced in a jar. You could do either of those if you didn't. Any of the three will work. All right, so the first thing I did is I have my hamburger frying in my fry pan, and I have a stock pot set up to put my vegetables in with butter and olive oil to get them cooking down. I'm going to show you how to cut the onion and pepper so that you can do that. And then you just want to cook your hamburger by moving it around in the pan, breaking it up into chunks. And if you didn't have hamburger, because I know sometimes it's hard to get meat now, you could do this without hamburger. It just adds another layer and then adds a little bit more heartiness to the sauce for your family to enjoy. But you can easily just do this whole recipe without hamburger as well. So I'm going to just move this hamburger around in the pan until it's cooked all the way through. That means that there's no pink remaining. I'm just going to let it keep cooking, and I'm going to show you how to cut an onion and pepper. Okay, so for my recipe, it says I need half an onion and half a pepper diced. So I'm going to dice both of these into small pieces. You can use any color of pepper, whatever you happen to have at your house. You could use green, red, orange, yellow. I have some yellow and red that I'm putting in this. And then I've got a plain, just regular yellow onion. You could use any onion you have at your house, whatever is available to put in, and you can substitute other vegetables if you need. These are the two most used in spaghetti sauce, but you could use mushroom, you could use zucchini, you could do a lot of different variations. All right, so I'm going to cut the onion first. I can peel off as much as I can on the outside. And again, this is Wodomski compost. So I'm going to stick the peel into the compost pile. But I'm just peeling off the outside to get down to the skin layer. Now this one I'd also want to peel off, but it's much easier if you cut it. There is a video that I am going to post with this that shows you how to cut an onion according to Gordon Ramsay. It's pretty fun to watch, so I'm just going to do those same steps. You don't want to cut across the onion. If you cut the root and the tip away from each other, that's when you really start crying. So you want to cut straight down the center. And make sure you use the knife safety video before you start doing this so that you know how to carefully use the knife. I only need half an onion, so the other half is going to go into my fridge. I'm going to peel the rest of this outside layer off. And this can all go in my compost. And then I'm going to cut this using the Gordon Ramsay method, which is to make 3 cuts this way. And then I'm going to cut straight down, making vertical cuts. And then I'm going to slice straight down. This gives this beautiful dice onion that we need for our recipe. All right, next step is to cut and dice up my pepper. The easiest way to cut the pepper, and again, there is a separate video for you to watch to kind of go through and how to do this, but just a quick overview, the top here, you don't want to try to cut around that. The easiest way is to actually flip it over to its upside down, and then you just slice right around the entire pepper like so. And you want to keep those seeds kind of all together inside. So then I've got this nice little Christmas tree of seeds that's going to go in my compost. And I've got this great leaves of pepper that I can cut. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to make slices of these. Remember to keep your fingers away from the blade and the knife. Curl them in so it's easier to control. I'm going to turn these strips of pepper this direction. And I'm going to just cut them into a rough chopped dice. All nice and small pieces like so. Now I've got this beautiful pepper that can go into my recipe. I could also do this for stir fry, though I would usually leave them as strips if I'm doing stir fry. All right, so I've got my hamburger and onions and peppers with garlic sauteing on the stove. I've got my garlic in with my onions and peppers, kind of getting all happy together. I'm going to let these saute. Make sure that you know what the word saute means before you start cooking, so that you understand what to do with these. And then I'm going to add the hamburger into the onion, pepper, garlic mix. All right, to end this sauce, what you're going to do is you're going to turn your burner down to low. I've got my onion, pepper, garlic, and hamburger all in my stock pot. I'm going to take a can of crushed tomatoes and I'm going to put those in. I'm going to use 2 cans so I can get some more sauce. You could make this with just 1 can. That would be fine. If you were making like dinner for your family for one night, you can just do 1 can of crushed tomatoes, and that will be completely fine for this recipe. I want to make a little bit more sauce because I like to freeze my sauce and keep it. This sauce is really good for freezing, and that tastes fantastic when you reheat it. And with any sauce, and if you didn't listen to the broccoli chicken Alfredo recipe, sauce gets better the longer you let it marinate. So this is fine for to make for a dinner and to have. It will be completely fine to eat right as soon as it's done, which is what we're going to do tonight. But it's going to be even better when you eat it the next day or the days after and give it some time to marinate. It's so good. I've got oregano leaves that I'm putting in. Just doing some shakes on top here. And I've got some basil that I'm going to throw in. Some basil leaves. You could throw some, if you happen to have herbs at your house, you could throw some fresh herbs in. And then the last thing, your recipe says sugar. I like to actually add honey, but it throws a lot of people off to put honey into a sauce. It helps with the acidity, makes it not taste as acidic or that strong tomato taste. So I put in just a little drizzle of honey, and then I'm going to stir this all in here. And then something that's not on your recipe that I normally add in is tomato paste. Tomato paste is a little jar of concentrated tomato that helps thicken the sauce. You don't have to put it in. It's just an option. You can, if you have it at your house and you want to add in some tomato paste, you can. You're more than welcome to use my recipe for the spaghetti sauce, or maybe your family has one that you want to use. And then I just have little cans of tomato paste. I'm just going to add this in. It's going to help thicken the sauce, give it a little bit more texture and a little less watery when I go to eat it. And then I'm going to make pasta to serve with this. And we would do, I'm going to do the video for the garlic bread / garlic toast for you to have as well. And that you just kind of put this all in here. You want to get this to boiling again. So you turn it up to boil, and then you're going to turn it down to simmer. So it shouldn't be really boiling at all. And let it kind of marinate in its flavor until you're ready to eat it. And then you're all set for making this recipe. All right, remember to do your flip grids when you get done with making recipes so that I can see what you create. Feel free to share maybe a family recipe for spaghetti sauce that you have. Keep cooking and trying new things. Remember to Side note, you can also make this in the crock pot. That's usually what I do. So I will cook up my vegetables and my hamburger, and then I'll actually put everything into the crock pot and let it cook for 8 hours on low. Makes those marinated flavors fantastic. Gets everything kind of happy together. It tastes really good. But that's my personal preference. And if you have a crock pot, you can do that. If you don't, that's fine. You're not required to do that for this lab. As I said, though, keep cooking, share what you make. Remember to stay safe, be happy, and much love, everybody. See you next time.